Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast, the coolest wrestling podcast on the planet. I'm Santi, that's Sancho. I don't even want to get into what we were talking before we hit the live button, so I'm just going to immediately say, hey, WWE, what's going on? What's going on right now? TKO, WWE seem to be in some sort of civil war, Sancho. I want your immediate kind of just thoughts on things, the lay of the land right now as things are going. Do you think, Sancho, this is all a work, or is there a level of shoot here?
Well, where there's smoke, there's fire, right? I think what it is, it's like if it can't be contained behind the scenes, if they're going to let it be known in unreal territory, I think they might as well make some money off of it, right? If there's beef between you and me, hey, let's get some subs for it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we'll start making diss tracks at each other. That's what YouTubers do, and this is kind of the equivalent of wrestling diss tracks at one another. Yeah, man, it is a wild time. I'll say this: in the 20 plus years of me watching like weekly television, I've never seen a real power struggle. Right, we've always seen the manufactured fake power struggles within WWE. The contract says McMahon, Shane McMahon, back in like the Who Bought WCW days. A Triple H firing Vince McMahon because the board has lost confidence because of what happened with CM Punk running out with the title. Vince trying to fire Cena. This stuff with the Authority. We've always seen manufactured power struggles, but now we're seeing what is evidently a real one, but because it's wrestling, Sancho, you never know like what's real, what isn't, what we're supposed to know, what we're not supposed to know, which is why this is one of the more fascinating things going on right now. And I don't know if this is a silver lining to a terrible Mania build, but like right now I am seated. I am glued to the screen trying to figure out what's going on in this world. It's almost making me forget about the lackluster WrestleMania build because right now, all I want to know is like, yo, is somebody getting fired? Yo, was that real? Yo, man, Pat McAfee, what's he going to say on the show? To a degree, Sancho, I have to say, whether intentional or not, damn it, brother, it's working. It's working with whatever it is that they're trying to do here. One thing I said in a YouTube video this week is that one thing that WWE, for all of their faults, one thing they're incredible at, they've always been incredible at, is taking advantage of a real life situation and turning it into a storyline. Because once the real life situation dust smoke settles, what do they say? Yeah, it was all part of the show. You got worked. It was like that was the plan from the beginning.
Ta-da!
Yeah. That's WWE's magic. They are so good at just spinning the situation, turning it into a story, and making us feel dumb for thinking the whole thing was real to begin with.
And you know what? It is. The only difference I would say, though, is that this is not a in-house WWE corporate versus us type of situation. This is different because it involves an outside entity called TKO. That's where it's a little spice to that.
Yeah. So, Sancho, in a conversation that I had on my YouTube page, one thing that I pointed out is that every single time we've had instances of non-wrestling entities trying to book wrestling, it leads to terrible booking. It leads to terrible decisions. Because a lot of people think this is kind of the first time that this is happening. But I pointed out, hey, look at the early days of the Saudi shows where WWE was
showdowns,
heavily influenced by the Saudi government, sporting commission, whoever the powers that be there, to book names that typically wouldn't get booked, that weren't part of regular WWE storylines, like Mansoor, the Saudi taker.
Who do they want to resurrect from the dead?
They wanted to resurrect Yokozuna. So WWE's like, here's Hiroki Sumi. He's a sumo dude, kind of like Yokozuna. They wanted to bring back the Ultimate Warrior back from the dead. So WWE doesn't have necromancer powers, believe it or not, Sancho. So they weren't able to do that. But they also did kind of bring somebody back from the dead of Shawn Michaels' career, right? They brought back Shawn Michaels, DX, Brothers of Destruction. destruction, and we saw the mess that created, to the point where I think most fans would agree that like those early Saudi shows were like non-canon separate story arcs happening within WWE, and then the main writing, albeit at that time still not great, was happening on Raw, SmackDown, and the stateside PLEs. Until eventually Saudi realized, okay, yeah, we got to back off and let WWE do their regular booking. And now the Saudi shows are good and they are must watch and they're part of the regular must watch TV. And now we look at what's going on with TKO. Sancho, every time they've put their hands in the cookie jar, every time they've tried to enter the kitchen, one, it seems to be always WrestleMania. And they are 0 for 3 with all 3 of their decisions. Let's lay them out for people. The one we just saw here with Pat McAfee, everybody hates it. I haven't seen a single person be positive about it, and we'll talk more at length about it. It is a very, very polarizing decision that's kind of creating this WWE TKO Civil War storyline. Then before that, Travis Scott and The Rock. Hey, we need The Rock to sell the tickets, only for The Rock to have never been part of narrative. So he wasn't even part of the Mania payoff, and he was never part of the payoff of John Cena's heel run in general. Boom. That was the other mistake. But then people think that's their first mistake. People forget that they tried to put their hands in the cookie jar at WrestleMania 40 and forcefully insert The Rock and Roman Reigns at WrestleMania 40 after Cody said, I want you, after literally winning the Rumble and then planning to sit on a hotel cuck chair and giving the spot to Dwayne, Diarrhea Dwayne. Luckily, that was so much fan backlash, and maybe TKO was still kind of like dipping their toes in the water because they had just recently purchased WWE, that they deferred back to Triple H and WWE. And of course, what did WWE do? Yeah, that was all part of the plan. Yeah, we knew that was gonna get you guys angry. We knew. Yeah, no one believes that was part of the plan. But now here we are in year 3 straight WrestleManias, brother. 3 straight WrestleManias where TKO is just meddling in things. If you ever wanted a silver lining, positive news of WrestleMania going to Saudi, it's that TKO ain't gonna touch that because Saudi moves the mountains there, not TKO. It is a wild, wild time, brother. I've never seen something like this. Again, we're gonna break things down more. Pat McAfee, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk, all that stuff. But temperature check right now, man. I think the water is boiling.
It's funny because you said you never seen it, and I've seen it. I've seen it countless of times. You know where I've seen it?
Where?
The Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones, baby. I've seen it so many seasons where you have Jerry Jones just draft people that make no sense, that fit the current mold that the Cowboys are going for, that the head coach is going for. And you think, oh, this is a head coach. No, this is still Jerry Jones coaching the team. And only lately things are getting better for the Cowboys. But hey, I've seen it and it doesn't pan out. I could tell you that much. I've been waiting since the 90s for a Super Bowl champion for the Cowboys. So I've seen it.
Yeah, man. And you know what's fascinating about all of this for me, Sancho, is the fact that it's kind of turned me into a Triple H apologist to a degree.
Oh, it's working you.
Yeah,
it's working you.
That's why. Yeah. That's why I started at the top of the show. I'm like, yeah, like this is working. Whatever angle they're working here, it's massaging me probably in the right direction. Now, I obviously still believe that there are problems with Triple H's booking. There's some inconsistencies, some way too slow payoffs, stuff that just dies in the funnel of just taking too long.
Yes.
But all of the biggest problems in Triple H's booking have come off the back of the stuff with TKO. Almost all of it. People will point to the John Cena retirement tour as like the number one thing that Triple H screwed up. Dog, it started with TKO. Because it created this, like, when's The Rock coming back? When's The Rock and Travis Scott going to pay out the storyline? It forced WWE creative to rely on story characters that weren't going to be there on a regular basis in The Rock and Travis Scott, and they weren't able to make it work. So now Triple H takes the brunt of the terrible booking of John Cena's retirement tour. And, of course, we're looking at what's happening right now, where they probably had all kinds of plans, maybe not great plans, but maybe not necessarily make you want to vomit type of plans, where they have something written for WrestleMania. Whether that thing is good or bad, we probably will never know now. But now, 2 weeks before WrestleMania, in comes a non-wrestling entity and says, no, put your pens down, stop your writing, stop the typewriters. And I need you to make Pat McAfee the main villain of this. I need Pat McAfee to be the central character in this. I don't care who you were planning. It's now Pat McAfee. I don't care that you had the line of wrestling has more than one royal family. No, this is the guy that I need you to write for. Dude, imagine if you went up to J.R.R. Tolkien and you told him, I was like, listen, dude, I need a spaceship in this story. I don't care. I don't care how you involve a spaceship, but I need a spaceship here. Somewhere in Mordor, maybe Gandalf rides in a spaceship, but I need a spaceship, and I need the biggest spaceship I can possibly get. That's kind of what happened here for WWE and their writing staff. Just like this other party that has more power than them saying, no, it's like this, you figure it out.
I know this is a touchy subject, but is it the same thing as good old George Double R Martin?
No,
HBO. Well, hey, they couldn't wait for him to finish the story, so they wrote their own story, and it went completely opposite from what the story was being written.
Sancho, nobody blames George R. Martin for the show. Just to clarify, nobody blames George R. R. Martin for the show. So terrible example there, bud. I'm not going to let you be a George R. R. Martin apologist because...
Are you being a George R. R. apologist here all of a sudden?
No. Because he was never to blame for the show to begin with. I don't have to blame the man for something he didn't do because I can absolutely blame the man for the travesty that he has created over the past 30 years in my life. Get to work, you lazy piece of trash.
Book it for Mania. Hey, Night 2 needs another match right there.
I'll get in there with George R. R. Martin. Run circles around that blob. I hate that man. Start writing, dude. Start writing. I don't get it. Shall we break down everything that's going down here so far with WWE x TKO, and then we can kind of extrapolate from here?
I agree. You know what? Where I want to start? I do want to start with us. The Wrestling is Cool. I want to go ahead and plant a seed here. And I know it's very early, and a lot of people are not noticing some people are, but there is a WWE and TKO brewing. And I was mentioning this on my YouTube videos, how can the WWE fight back? And I always said that once the light goes on for We're Live, there's nothing that TKO can do. It kind of reminds me of the days of early SNL, where SNL was very like doing controversial sketches, but NBC couldn't really do anything about it because they were live. So I'm thinking that's the same situation. And I don't know, man. Is Triple H sending out Cody Rhodes, CM Punk to lay the foundation for a future feud going down the line for a whole next year? I hope so, Santi, because one thing that I'm holding on to that it's always in the back of my mind is when Dwayne said in his interview, in his press conference, not all feuds need to end in the ring. And I'm hoping that they don't pay this off like backstage politics or Unreal. This needs to materialize in the ring because it's pro wrestling, brother.
I'm with you. I am hesitant on the desire to want to go down that route because we are then now once again, similarly to the John Cena retirement tour, trying to hinge on the fact that hopefully these people grace us with their presence. Of course, I'm immediately talking about The Rock. We would then need some sort of play ball from Ari Emanuel at this point, right? You know what I mean? But like Ari Emanuel's he's not a TV character. I mean, Ari Gold from Entourage is based on him. If we had Ari Gold here, that would be fascinating. But I don't know. One of the things that I said, Sancho, was I'm seated, I'm fascinated. I don't know what this means to an end is because I can't figure out what the end is. Mostly because I've never been here. You know, like what is the means to the end of sending out Cody Rhodes out there? What is the means to the end to send out CM Punk out there to blast ticket prices? I don't know because I don't know what the end of the means even is. What are they trying to do? Are they trying to bring power back? Are they trying to start a story? Are they trying to start a social movement? Are they trying to create a Survivor Series War Games match? I have no clue.
I think it's just as simple as it's a warning shot. Like, don't meddle with what we do or we will continue to poke holes into your game. We'll take chip shots at you from afar. We'll create a narrative that we can control, that the WWE fan base can latch onto and say, you're the problem. Because let's just say it keeps going. You think TKO would want to hold on to a product that causes so much backlash at Backlash? If it starts lowering, like the money's not there and money starts going down and they become problematic and WWE starts bucking the TKO, and then all of a sudden it becomes the hard split. I'm not saying TKO would sell WWE, but I think WWE could survive if that happens. WWE as a brand, as a global brand, it's a family business still being run in terms of creatively by the McMahons with Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. I think it will survive.
I mean, it's surviving $45,000 tickets. And so like, yeah, I agree. I think it would survive. Let's break some stuff down here for a second.
Sure. Start at the beginning.
I almost don't want to start at the beginning, Sancho.
Where do you want to start?
I kind of want to start at the CM Punk line about ticket prices because we're kind of talking about that right now.
Okay.
And we were kind of talking about like what's the means to the end here. This is what to me has blown my mind the most out of everything that's going on. CM Punk goes out there. He cuts what I thought was a solid individual promo on Roman Reigns and The Rock.
He opened with what would Harley Race would do.
Yeah.
Interestingly.
He
what would Legends would do.
He also basically opened with, I'm going to focus on kayfabe story. I'm going to build to my WrestleMania match. And it was great. It was solid. And then he pivots and starts talking about Pat McAfee, calls him MAGAFee, which I confirmed. I did confirm. I went back on the Raw review, patreon.com/SantiZap, because I didn't hear it at first. My chat started telling me that he called him that. I double checked on the Raw review. We checked the footage, folks. We went into the VAR, and he absolutely 100% called him Pat McAfee. Calls out his goofy agent for putting him in this business to begin with. Shoehorning him into his business. And if their problem is WrestleMania ticket sales, maybe lower the ticket prices. And then he doubles down and says, Houston, I want them to lower the ticket prices so that you and all of your families could watch me put my foot on Roman Reigns' neck. Great way to bring it back to storyline and kayfabe. But everyone is talking about the ticket prices line. The reason why, to me, this line is so fascinating, because it just doesn't feel like a shot, Sancho. This feels like not even a warning. This felt full-blown kamikaze. This is damaging your own show. They damaged their own program, their own product, their own money. They shot themselves in the foot, and I think they shot themselves in the foot, are staring TKO in the eye and saying, I'm bleeding out. What are you going to do about it? You want me to shoot myself again? Because I will. Because that's unprecedented for a company, even in like private stockholder meetings, for a company to come out and say our product is too expensive. I'm a stock market guy. I listen to a lot of these conference calls. Whenever they're talking about like we need to lower pricing, they don't say that. They say we need to increase value. There's very corporate lingo that protects themselves from admitting that something is too expensive. That's not what CM Punk said. CM Punk said the tickets are too expensive. Lower the ticket prices. What does that do in my eyes, Sancho? That kills the rest of the WrestleMania ticket sales. Who in the world is going to buy a ticket knowing that they were told on TV straight up that if you buy these tickets, you're a fool because they are way too expensive? On top of that, I think it's a shot at the people that have already bought tickets, telling them, hey, guess what? You got to swindle. You paid way too much for WrestleMania because these tickets are way too expensive. It is a fascinating line to try and break down from a business perspective. From a social perspective, I think it's very clear. Like, CM Punk wants those ticket prices lowered. But man, it feels like it was a self-inflicted wound on purpose to show TKO, yeah, we're willing to shoot ourselves in the foot for this. It is, I would love to see a college business class break this down in terms of the implications of admitting that your product on live television in front of millions, and then probably hundreds of millions on social media afterwards, that your marquee product is too expensive, and it's being told by one of your key contributors in CM Punk.
Funny enough, you look at SeatGeek, the cheapest ticket I see is $200.
One night, I'm guessing.
This is, yes, for Saturday. There's $200 for the upper deck. There is one for $198, but it's on that X grid.
Sure.
Where you run the possibility of being obstructed. Floor seats are still in the thousands. The lowest I see is 400, but it's like in the back left corner.
Yeah, that's worse than being lower bowl.
Hard cam looks like $22,000 for hard cam. But that is like overall in the mid bowl, you're looking at 400s. That's just for one seat on Saturday. And then it's just, the thing about it is interesting because CM Punk did walk into the WWE saying, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to make money. Mm-hmm. It is also interesting that he said before in AEW that to Tony Khan, it's not about ticket numbers. It's about money. So it is interesting that now he's become this voice of the voiceless once again, but for the everyday common fan. I would have to say this has been a problem that I foresaw years ago. As soon as I started taking content creating seriously for wrestling, I said the number one problem I'm seeing is that ticket sales are way too much. And as a family man, I can't take my kids out to a WWE show because it's just too expensive. That's why I was starting to enjoy AEW. Dirt cheap, good pro wrestling, and you get your money's worth. I think not only that, they need to send out Cody Rhodes to talk about more matches. You've seen Cody Rhodes on his podcast that he wants more live events. He wants more of those dark matches. He wants more of the home shows type of the situation. He wants house shows more. So not only that, our tickets have shrunk because in terms of matches quality has shrunk because we only got we were in our third match, Santi, and Monday Night Raw, an hour and a half in the show. An hour and a half in the show, you got your third wrestling match.
That's crazy. That's where I also point fingers at like, hey, Pat McAfee, have you even been watching the product? When he said, and I'm being forced to watch 45-minute Iron Man matches by 5'2" midgets. It's like, bro, we're lucky to get 40 minutes of wrestling in a 3-hour show. What are you talking about?
It's so funny when you saw Pat McAfee on his show. He did keep it kayfabe. He did double down on it, which is great. I like that they're trying to promote Randy Orton as the savior, but all his other guys, the lack of a better word, the co-hosts and the things like that, the stooges of Pat McAfee, if we're going to put them in a faction altogether. They were like, yeah, dude, like that Adam Cole. And they were like, no, he's not part of WWE anymore. And like, what about Ciampa? No, he's not part of the WWE anymore. And then Pat McAfee really intelligently goes, yeah, that's right. You see, these guys used to watch your wrestling and now they don't. And that's why they don't know what's happening anymore. But yeah, I just feel when you focus on the ticket prices, I think that is a number one thing that the fans have been saying. But it is interesting, Santi, that Cody and CM Punk speak from that side, but then people believe that Pat McAfee is speaking for other fans too. And I had never felt like a lot of people were wanting for the Attitude Era. I think when Netflix became a thing and people were like, oh, sweet, we're going to get Attitude Era 2.0 on Netflix because there's going to be no holds bar. We could have cursing. We could have some spicy type of segments once again. And we didn't get that. But I don't feel like that's a strong, loud voice in this echo chamber of the WWE. Do you feel that way too? I never felt that way.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, listen, here's the thing. The people that were the Attitude Era fans, they're no longer the financial drivers of WWE. Like, we're now looking at the people that were watching wrestling in the early 2000s. That they're the ones that are driving the ticket pricing up. They're the ones that are getting the big jobs now. They're the ones that are wanting to watch their childhood icons like Cena, like Randy Orton. Do you think that Attitude Era fans were lining up to pay thousands of dollars to watch Cena retire? They hate that dude. So the Attitude Era fan is no longer the financial driver of anything, really. We're kind of past that. We're now into the late millennial being the one that's driving the market for pretty much every industry, really, at this point, when you really, really break it down in entertainment. I have not seen this clamoring for, I need to see more big guy wrestling. I need to see more of the Attitude Era in my wrestling today. Don't get me wrong, like there's some of that where, like you said, some people wanted an Attitude Era-esque run out of Netflix. But I think if you ask the average fan nowadays, hey, what would you prefer, them to have an Attitude Era 2.0 or a Renaissance Era to continue, right? That 2023 to 2024 that led to WrestleMania 40. I think most people would say Renaissance Era because, you know, at least we get some actual women's wrestling at that point.
What's funny is Pat McAfee is born in 1987. And when did the Attitude Era start? 1997. So the man wants the 10-year-old Pat McAfee to be satisfied. That's what he wants, the inner child to be satisfied of watching the Attitude Era. And I like to add on top of that, but was Randy Orton part of the Attitude Era? No, he wasn't a part of the Attitude Era. He showed up literally the next day after the ending, supposedly, of the Attitude Era. But, okay. Where do you want to go here? We talked about CM Punk. I think I want to go back to CM Punk because that is what I feel that Pat McAfee was asking for more Attitude Era type of promos. And we got it with Cody on SmackDown, and we definitely got it here with CM Punk. I think what the lesson here is that the WWE and TKO can just trust their wrestlers, because if the statements are true and the reports are true that they were all just told was go out there and say whatever you want, CM Punk, give us another pipe bomb. That's all they probably told him. Give us another pipe bomb. Go out there, give us another pipe bomb, and we'll follow your lead. If that is the case, I think we should get more of that for the rest of the roster. Let them sink or swim. Let's see if Trick Williams could cut a promo like this, which I know he can. Let's see what kind of promo can Sami Zayn cut when he's not being too high horsey Sami Zayn. That's the thing I want to see that spreads throughout the rest of the roster. That most of them are capable of dropping something similar or close to something like CM Punk. Not necessarily a big impact that could change the business forever, but more of like something that could really impact their rivalry or feud that they're in.
I think that's a generous way to look at what Pat McAfee was saying.
Oh, I agree.
I think
I'm grasping for straws.
Yeah. I think that's a generous way to look at it. Like Pat McAfee wants the current guys to improve. I read that as like, I hate the current guys. I hate the current product. So I'm here to save it because they're here to save wrestling, which, by the way, ironic. Last year, Cena's trying to ruin wrestling, and now we've got Randy Orton trying to save wrestling. Both doing it the same way, by the way.
Is this a retread of that storyline?
It is identical, Sancho. I'm so glad you brought this up. It is a complete retread, right down to TKO meddling and including somebody that isn't going to be there on a weekly basis to be able to pay off this storyline. All they did was just turn the dial a little bit to make it so that it's about saving wrestling as opposed to killing wrestling. It is the same storyline. It is the same story beats. And I'm already hearing it, right? I'm already hearing it from the idiots in the community. The idiots in the community saying, you were supposed to hate that promo. You were supposed to hate Pat McAfee. That's what they were going for. Yeah, just like in the same way that we were supposed to hate the main event of WrestleMania 41 because Cena was trying to ruin wrestling. Are you stupid? Are you soft in the brain? That's not what it literally means to ruin the thing that you're an idiot. All right, to justify this by saying that, like, yeah, it's supposed to be bad. What? Since what? There's no such thing as entertainment supposed to be bad. It's supposed to elicit emotions. There's, whether it's angry, sad, happiness, all this stuff, but there's still quality. There's still logic. There's still good narrative behind it. This Sancho has none of it. Because, why doesn't it? Because it wasn't written by people that write narrative. Because it wasn't written by anybody. It's a corporate entity saying, this guy, figure it out. That sucks. Imagine being a writer, working week in, week out, writing this full script, only for Big Dad TKO to come in and rip it in front of you.
Is it like Gabe from The Office when he shows up with that scary movie? That little horror tape,
yeah.
Remember?
Yeah.
He's like to explain to people like you don't get it.
Yeah.
This is what real.
This scary. Is cinema. This is real cinema.
This is real scary movie stuff that messes with your psyche. And then he cut in footages of the people from The Office, like he filmed people from their cars. But I agree, dude. TKO is just coming in and they're just wanting to check on their products once a year. You know what I mean? It's the absent parent, like, what? As long as I buy you a big Christmas present, you're going to be happy. And it's like, wait a minute, Dad, you don't even know. I'm not even into skateboards this year. I moved on. I want a 3D printer, Dad.
Damn it. You're into skateboards and you're going to like it.
Figure it out. Why is it every 90s movie is about a dad that's absent? I want to show my kids like 90s movies, and then every time they start missing me because I'm working here and I'm in the house working, watching wrestling at night. How come Daddy doesn't put us to bed anymore? He's working. And then I watch these 90s movies like Hook with Robin Williams. He's Peter Pan, who's an absent father. And here I am, you know.
Mrs. Doubtfire was also an absent father.
Absent father. Jingle All the Way.
Yeah, absent father. You're right. You're onto something here.
Hey, damn it. Cut me some slack. I wanted to enjoy the 90s, but all deadbeat dads. I can't wait to talk about deadbeat dad who faked an injury so he wouldn't have to retire.
I didn't even have that on the show notes. I'm immediately adding that right now.
But overall, I think you're right. I think I am ready. I'm sitting in the seat as well. I got my popcorn. I got my hot dog. I'm ready to go. I saw the preview of this WWE TKO. I'm just not 100% buying into the fact that we're going to get a payoff. Yeah. Pat McAfee does look like he's in shape, though. He looks like he's in shape. Okay. This is the most lean I've ever seen Pat McAfee. Could this be a match at Backlash? Could we get Pat back into the ring? Because it obviously needs it. I think, though, the one thing I'm going to push you back on is that this is different from last year from John Cena and Travis Scott and The Rock. I think Pat McAfee is down to clown. I think he is down to clown for a segment, a PLE cycle beyond WrestleMania. I think he is ready to be present because, one, if he's invested in the ESPN and WWE's relationship, it's going to benefit him. Also, there's rumors that Netflix is going to make a play for the Pat McAfee show. If that's going to be a factor in determining, he's going to want to make Netflix happy. He's going to want to make TKO happy in WWE. And if he's already kind of like the black sheep of ESPN, if he's already hated on by so many of the old heads and things like that, where they don't get his style of presentation, his style of show, the way he took over College Game Day, if they don't like Pat McAfee, then he's the business guy that's already looking for that next boat to jump on. And I think Pat McAfee is going to be an active participant that's going to be able to see the story through of Randy, Pat, and Cody Rhodes, and eventually CM Punk would probably get back into this fold.
You know what? I don't disagree. I do see Pat McAfee seeing it through and be more likely to give us a payoff than The Rock and Travis Scott. By the way, quick question, Sancho. Quick entertainment question. When you sign a deal or like a sponsorship, aside from you, who gets money?
My agent.
Interesting. Who's Pat McAfee's agent?
Denhausen. Ari Emanuel.
TKO
CEO.
It's funny that he is now inserting him so prominently into Netflix programming worldwide because that's where PLEs are going to be. Moves the next Sylvester Stallone.
He was on the set. Pat McAfee, a great guy.
Who's said, aside from Pat McAfee, who's said to greatly financially benefit from Pat McAfee signing a fat deal with Netflix. Yeah, it's transparent, brother. It's Ari.
What do they always say? Follow the money?
Follow the money, my friend. It does not lie. All right,
does the money lead to that pot of shit called Vince McMahon at the end of the Golden Rainbow? Is that where we're going? Some people on my comments are going like, "Oh man, this means Vince is going to come back to defend the WWE." I'm like, whoa there, partner.
No, it's like reading a children's novel and then the hero ends up being Benito Mussolini, dictator of Italy. You don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want certain people being the heroes of the tale, and it's not going to be Vince McMahon. It's not going to be Vince.
He's not going to be Gandalf showing up on the horse. Whoa, no chance. That's
absolutely. I know they've referenced him a bunch. Just no way. Unless, we get some crazy where like WWE acts out so much that they sell it back to Vince or something like that, right?
Whoa. He's not Beetlejuice. Just because you say his name 3 times, he doesn't show up, okay?
So, Sancho, we've obviously talked about the TKO thing with the main event here of WrestleMania, Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton, but we haven't really asked the question of why, why this match of all matches that didn't need any insertment from any celebrity to be built, why they decided to go that route for this particular match.
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't follow my Twitter account? You didn't hear the rumors?
No, you're blocked on Twiher.
They're going to put Fluffy as the special guest referee for Femi Brock Lesnar? You didn't hear this?
I just, of all of the matches and feuds that just didn't need help, it was Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton. Now, mind you, the writing for this wasn't particularly great leading into the whole Pat McAfee reveal, but this has 20 years of legacy, 20 years of friendship, hatred, of relationships that could have been explored, and then they're just like, yeah, it's Pat McAfee with sunglasses indoors.
I could just imagine Fluffy is with the special guest referee in Oma versus Brock.
He does his little girl voice.
Can you imagine the bump Fluffy takes with Oma and Brock?
Okay. Fluffy wouldn't be taking a bump. He'd be rolling. Let's be real here.
Oh, I mean, hey, the man attends so many PLEs. He watches so much wrestling. His knowledge must be vast. Why not? Fluffy deserves a spot, brother.
Sancho, I think we deserve a spot. We watch so much wrestling. We should get to come out with Trick Williams. It should be us. The Wrestling is Cool podcast. We should make an entrance with Trick Williams. Every time Trick speaks, we're on the side going, what? Yep. Mm-hmm.
On that little spinning dish. So it's like this. Wow. What? Okay, to answer your question, why muddled into the lines? Because it's the most pure match that would get us upset. It's the one that it's like we wrestling aficionados or, purists and historians or whatever you want to call us, the ones that love the good stuff of wrestling, the ones that actually enjoyed Cody Rhodes. There you go. The people that actually like Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, which is one of my favorite matches of that year. Yeah, that's what it is. They came in here and they messed it with a good thing, dude. But it's like when George Lucas went back and added special effects from Star Wars. That's what did happen here, man.
But it's weird, Sancho, because supposedly Pat McAfee is the voice of the people that have been angry. But he pointed out a bunch of things that no one was angry at. That's why I'm so confused.
It's like, this is actually the good story. Okay, if you had to insert Pat with the same message, which match would it be? Would it be CM Punk and Roman?
God, I'd hope none. Is with this message, I would hope that the answer would be none. Gosh, aside from that,
would it be Gunther and Seth?
I mean, it just doesn't make Sancho. I think what I'm realizing as you ask that question is it doesn't make sense anywhere with that particular message. I'm not saying Pat McAfee as a character into a story couldn't have made sense. Like I think Pat McAfee could have played the Lil Yachty role. I really think he could have played the Lil Yachty role. Like attaching himself to the next big star, the next big cross multimedia star, Trick Willie.
With the same messaging, like taking it back. This guy's tall. You look at him. He's charismatic.
And Sami Zayn, look at that vanilla bum. Look at that. Look at that short man that trying to put on the 60-minute Iron Man matches with his heart and his soul. When you got Trick Willie here with his lemon pepper steppers, 6'5", ready to be a movie star, and I'm ready to unleash that upon the world with Trick Willie. Could have worked, I guess. We're there.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yeah,
there you go.
I'd be there. I'd be like, yeah, Sammy sucks.
Yeah.
That would. I think that's what it is, and I think that's where people get confused about celebrities' involvement in wrestling. When it makes sense, we have no problem with it. Even in the AEW side of things, when they had Shaq teaming up against Cody, like we were like, okay, this is
whatever.
Fun. It's not a main event. It's not for a title.
I show speed right now. Sweet.
I show speed. Sweet. Also, you have the Boom guys over there, but they're like opening up pay-per-views. I think when you insert something into the main event and people want to call this a swerve, but I don't. Dude, swerves usually have some point of reference, right? Some point of a kernel, a seed that, we overlooked that. But I don't see any of these connections at all. Like, when's the last out of nowhere swerve that you felt was this level of because I look at every reaction and notice they didn't use reactions, by the way. They didn't use any reactions. They just used tweets. They just used tweets. Because every reaction was like,
why?
What is this?
I laughed. I thought it was supposed to be funny.
I was like, Pat McAfee? It wasn't anything that they could do. So I wonder, any swerve like that you can think of that was a huge surprise. The one that I always go to is Dave Bautista turning on Rey. But that was lead up because Rey would always screw over Dave on accident. And then he was like, I'm going to hurt you, Rey. But I can't think of anything else this big of out of nowhere type of reveal.
I mean, it's The Rock coming back to take Cody's spot.
Okay.
That's
TKO.
the one, another TKO-ism. It's like I can only compare them to TKO-isms at this point.
I mean, Shawn Michaels and Marty Jannetty fell out of nowhere, but I was never exposed to that type of booking in my youth as a child. I never was exposed to the tag team guy turning on the other guy in terms of like, because that's something, because like I the naive child in me, when it came to WWE, I thought these were the dudes and this is their characters set in this era. Like, okay, Hulk Hogan was Hulk Hogan. I never knew there was a version of Hulk before WWE or WWF at the time. Same thing with Shawn Michaels.
Lips.
Yeah, the good old Thunder Lips. But so for me, I was seeing these guys in their prime, but I didn't know about other type of promotions or different feuds and stories, lines, things like that. So for me, it was that, you know, Shawn Michaels super kicking Marty Jannetty through through the glass. Like, that was insane. But I can't think of anything else that like against Jon Stewart. Jon Stewart coming in and hitting.
That's a good one. That's a good one. That's like, that makes no sense and no payoff. That I think you picked the right one.
That was what was, for those of you who don't know, he walked, he got in the ring, stood there with a chair for the longest time, and then hit John Cena with a chair.
And his reasoning was he liked Ric Flair too much as a kid to see Cena tie his record. That was the whole thing. That was the whole storyline. And we never saw Jon Stewart ever again, and it's still one of the most hated. Oh man, that's it, dude. That feels like a TKO move. That's the thing, guys. Vince McMahon also dumb enough to make TKO type moves too. So don't be clamoring for his return either.
Because I tweeted out that when integrations make sense, it makes sense. Like Mike Tyson being the special enforcer. He wasn't the referee. He was the special enforcer. So when the ref took a bump, he got in there, and then he took out Shawn Michaels and he did the fast count. But that was a special integration. I brought up Big Show and Floyd Mayweather. Right? It was just an attraction. It was a side
match,
show. Yes, and it kind of worked out pretty well with Floyd Mayweather punching out Big Show. And then you go, I remember that match. It was so bizarre. So bizarre. And then you get into other celebrities integrations like Steve Armel. That worked out well. Johnny Knoxville worked out well. Drew Carey did not work out well, but it was still, he was a host. And the most he did was took a Rumble spot, which is at the time wasn't that bad. But if you did that today, you'd be like, oh, I hate this. But let me remind you, Pat McAfee did the same thing. He took a Rumble spot and just said, oh, I'm out. No, I don't want to be involved in this. But I don't know. Any other celebrities that come to mind that besides the ones I mentioned?
I think you kind of listed the main culprits. Obviously, you left out Bad Bunny, but like that's just obviously
Bad Bunny.
It's interesting. I think Jelly Roll kind of teeters the line of like being used really well, how you'd want to see a celebrity get used, but he was also kind of towing the line of like, why is he in this? Why is he in this? Like, I loved everything that was going on with Kit Wilson and The Miz. I'm like, oh, that's a perfect spot for a celebrity involvement. But then they were also kind of having him kind of dip his toes in the main event scene. But luckily, it was just take an RKO and bounce, right? But who knows? Maybe he's gonna come back and go up against Pat McAfee. Oh my God, bro, I see it.
Don't do it.
Oh my God, bro.
You're gonna manifest it. Don't do it.
It's Jelly Roll and Cody Rhodes versus Randy Orton and Pat McAfee at Backlash.
At Backlash?
Yeah, that's it. You see it though, don't you? You see it. You freaking see it. I didn't just come up with that out of nowhere.
So here's what I see. It went into my brain. Cody Rhodes is about to get punk kicked. You have Pat McAfee holding his head like a little football, like Sally, like Charlie Brown. You know what I mean? Like the good old, what's her name? Lucy holding it down. Yeah. Holding the football head down of Cody Rhodes. And guess who's going to grab Randy's foot?
Going to be good old Jelly.
Good old Jelly Roll. We're going to hold on to that foot and we're never going to get that punk kick. Oh, I think I'll be sad if I bought a ticket to WrestleMania Night 1 and I didn't see a punk kick. Yeah, damn it.
I wouldn't be surprised if you don't get that move.
Isn't it interesting that no one put this together, that they're both punters?
No, people instantly put that together.
I don't think so. I didn't see a single thing on the internet. I didn't see a single thing on the internet.
Within 2 minutes, my chat's like, "Oh, they're both punters." I'm like, "Oh yeah, okay, cool. Who cares?" Man, what a wild time. To me, the most mind-boggling thing is the ticket prices line, the like self-sabotage almost. I compared it to like when Will Smith at the end of I Am Legend grabbed the grenade and jumped into the Night Seekers and just blew himself up. It kind of feels that way. Instead, CM Punk taking out TKO with him, because like what Cody Rhodes said, what are you going to do? Fire me? Right? Like, I'm the champion. I'm your headliner. What are you going to do? Fire CM Punk? Now they got FU money. Which is exactly what CM Punk said as well. Sancho, you mentioned something that's been kind of rattling in my brain about like the story behind this and like why it feels so quick and out of nowhere, and you're trying to come up with examples like this. I think part of the reason why this feels so quick and out of nowhere is because this is a pivot 2 weeks to Mania. If we were 8 weeks, I think of The Rock taking Cody's spot. They had like 2.5 months to figure it out, 3 months to figure it out, to pivot, to change, to say it was all part of the plot, it was all part of the show, because they had enough runway to be able to maneuver, right? Like Triple H says, there was the GPS destination, things probably got jumbled in there, but you just got to find a way to get there, and they had 3 months to figure it out. I think that's what's missing here. You don't have the 3 months to figure it out. You have, 2 more episodes of SmackDown, 1 more episode of Monday Night Raw to figure it out if you want. That to me is part of the reason why this is so scary. Such a last minute pivot into, by the way, like aside from what Pat McAfee was saying, right? Like the story between Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton over the last month and a half that it's been going on, it's not once been about what Pat McAfee said. Not once. So to make that all of a sudden giant narrative shift to try and focus it on what Pat McAfee said with his promo feels highly unnatural and highly inorganic, which also means unnatural. So I just kind of repeated myself.
You mean, does it mean artificial?
Artificial. It feels fake. Fake. Baloney. That's to me part of the crux of the problem here. That it's an unnatural narrative shift, and it's happening so close to WrestleMania where you don't have enough runway to make it natural.
Do you think that because you watch so much wrestling as much as I do, and we review both Monday and SmackDown on our Patreon, that you could feel when something's out of place?
Sure.
Like you so used to the rhythm of the show. That's how it felt like when Cody walked out there and just crossroads Kit Wilson. I was like, wait a minute, we just came off a good high with Danhausen, which we'll get into, and all of a sudden we're going into this Cody promo. I was like, wait a minute, this feels different. This feels not normal. But what I would say to you to this, that just means whatever is going to happen at WrestleMania is going to be a big explosion, because all these moves are so crude and so jarring and so jolting that I do believe in energy, and I feel like this energy has been meddled with so aggressively that it's just going to lead into a chaotic crash at WrestleMania. Whether that be a reveal of some sort that will change the rest of that year, would it be a double turn that Cody does join the TKO? Would it be maybe CM Punk joins TKO? Because funny enough, I remember John Cena redoing the "as you lay there on the table, sitting on the turnbuckle," he said, "You are Mr. TKO. What are you talking about, Punk? You're not the voice of the voiceless. You're not Punk. You're more of a capitalist," I believe he said. I think that's what's going to lead to it, Santi. That's where we're going to go. If they have this quick maneuvering type of situation, then we're going to do a hard stop pivot that's going to change the WWE going forward for the new year.
Here's my question to end this topic, Sancho. Assuming that this really is, that this friction is very much real, who gets their way at WrestleMania? WWE or TKO?
TKO. It's the way to start the battle, right? You have to lose the battle, the first one, to be able to compound it, to make it feel like we're in danger. That is the thing that has to happen. you can't just have the WWE win already, because if we win, that means the status never changes, right? The what's been working for the WWE's foundation is fine, but if they lose, WWE loses here, and shows you that TKO is changing. Like, let's say this: prices don't go down. CM Punk's plea for lower the ticket prices goes on deaf ears at the top. That's going to create more fervor. Already, people are saying the prices didn't go down for Mania. What is CM Punk saying? The prices haven't changed on the next week's Monday Night Raw or SmackDown. The prices are still the same. So they need to create this idea that nothing's changed and that TKO is now taking over harder. Like, there's more meddling. There's more changes. Like, what if at Mania Triple H gets fired? And what do you do when you get fired? How do you introduce a bigger villain? I'm not talking about Ari Emanuel, and I'm not talking about The Rock, but you could do a Shane McMahon. You could do a Stephanie McMahon. Already, we kind of got that inkling that Stephanie McMahon is up to something, even though she delivered a promo as if it was a one-off at Madison Square Garden. But when she started that promo, I was like, what is Stephanie up to here? It feels like she's manipulating Cody Rhodes a little bit to get her way. So I don't know, dude. I do feel my prediction early right here that we're going to get something big happening that goes beyond just in-ring. It's going to kind of shatter out into the hierarchy of the WWE and TKO. I think it's going to be really, really cool, and I'm hoping for it. That's what I'm placing my bet on. You know what I mean? I'm putting my chips down right there.
I'm gonna make a sad but dark prediction here, Sancho, about all of this.
Oh wow!
I think, not storyline, Triple H gets fired this year.
Like, for real? For
real. I think if the dust settles and the Mania ticket sales stall and they are barely able to cross 40,000 per night, if their marquee show disappoints not just TKO but the city of Las Vegas and ESPN and all the stakeholders, he is the guy that would take the blame. He is the guy that TKO would point at. He is the guy they would fire. You
can't fire Cody. Can't fire CM Punk.
I think they could. I think I'm going to make the prediction that not in storyline, that TKO, they fire Triple H by the end of the year.
Do they fire him or Triple H steps down?
It's all the same. It's the same thing.
Not all the same.
It is absolutely the same thing. In the corporate world, it's the same.
Optics are different.
Optics, to those that don't understand that world, might impact it, but
he gets a severance package, maybe. I don't know.
If you step down, you don't get a severance package.
I don't know. That's what I mean. There's optics. I mean, it matters, right? The details matter.
Sure, it does. In the paperwork, what I'm saying is it'll say you're fired, whether he steps down or not. Every time that
to the door,
you might need to go to the Kiss My Ass Club to get back in with Ari Emanuel. That'll be my prediction. I think that TKO, for realsies, for real, they fire Triple H as the scapegoat for struggling WrestleMania sales.
I will always say this, and I've seen this before in gaming. If you put yourself out there as the face of the company, you are the first one that's being axed out the door.
For sure. And you reap all the rewards when it's going well, and you eat all the shit when it's going bad.
Exactly. That's a bold thing to do, because there's a new kind of cloud or rumor spreading that it's positioning The Rock and his guy Brian Gerwitz, I believe, to his creative guy that always comes in and writes for The Rock when The Rock is involved in WWE. You got to double check me on that name. I know it starts with a G, but he's the one that writes for The Rock, the final boss. He's the one responsible for that, and there's rumors that he would be a part of the creative entity going forward, if that is the case, which is a crazy power play to me. If they get The Rock and the $7 Productions involved and Brian involved, like, holy, that is some Machiavelli Game of Thrones play from like downtown out of nowhere. That, hey, you didn't give me what I want in WrestleMania 39 when I wanted to face my cousin and I wanted to have that match. Oh, you didn't give me what I want when I wanted to have that match again in WrestleMania 40. Well, guess what, pal? We're going to set in motion where I'm going to pretend to be a part of your program for WrestleMania 41, then back out, because what are you going to do? I'm the freaking Rock. I'm going to back out and take my ball and go home. and I'm gonna plant a seed the day after meeting. Be like, I'm gonna come for you, Cody. May not be no win, may not be for belt, don't know when, but I'm gonna have a match with you, and then show up on the Raw or Netflix. Be like, hey everybody, I'm just Dwayne. I'm having a good time.
Who wants some vodka?
Woo! And in the meantime, you're just manipulating the pieces so that when you could purposely take the WWE, you could come in and sweep it and buy it and become part of everything and control all the things for The Rock. By the way, we didn't talk about CM Punk. Keeps mentioning The Rock. Now, I know Vince is an outlier and may not be ever to be appeared, but
Wait, are you saying that Vince was the creepy old man?
Yes, Vince is the creepy old man. What? I'm saying they keep mentioning The Rock over and over again. These are multiple weeks. They directly mention The Rock. And you can't mention The Rock without summoning The Rock. I think they're summoning The Rock here, brother.
You think this is a Candyman situation?
Yes. But I know you made videos on like, we can't keep doing this. We can't, but you can't keep mentioning The Rock. It's going to happen, brother. He's going to show up.
Just to clarify, when I make those videos, it's not because I don't want The Rock. I obviously want The Rock. Entertainment value skyrockets. It's just that I know it's short-term dopamine. You know what I mean? He's there and then he's gone.
It feels good.
It does feel good. It feels good in the moment.
It's so good.
You're high for the people's champ there for a little while.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes. When he comes out, he's like, every time I come back here in San Diego, people ask, should I sit at the booth? Should I sit at the bar? Or should I sit at the head of the table? I was like, bow, 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 bow. When he comes back as the final boss and he's beating up Mama Rose and Cody Rhodes, you're like, yes.
Yeah, man, but like everything you're saying right now, brother, every single thing that you're saying is from the magic of WrestleMania 40.
I know, right?
You didn't mention a single. Funny, you didn't mention the soul. Why didn't you mention taking the soul? Because
I want your soul.
They paid that off. That maybe we would have been talking about that as something interesting, as something cool that The Rock did. But it will always just have this.
What are you talking about?
Miasma over it.
He walks out.
Oh, Bad Blood 2024, of course.
Blah, blah. I'm telling you, man, if I was ever Chris Van Vliet and I was on those press check-ins for Jumanji 5, I would ask him about the final boss. And The Rock would go, yeah, that was a good time, Chris. That's what he would say. Or if he was on the press check-in for Moana, I ain't asking about Maui. I'm asking about the final boss.
Did you channel any of that final boss energy when you played Maui here live action?
Did you ever think about casting Cody Rhodes as a voice in Moana?
as the chicken that constantly gets beat up.
Isn't it interesting that there's also a story that was kind of left at the wayside that happened before all this happened was Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns, like Cody feeling like he was uncomfortable on set with Roman. Like there was always that, oh, Roman's on set, we can't have Cody near that. Like there was like that weird. I'm just chalking that up to kayfabe. Like they're just building it up. They're just working, making sure that they settle that.
They want their trilogy match to be on the table and not be ruined by paparazzi photos of them being chummy and hanging out with one another. So I respect that. I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. Oh man, what a wild time. And in the midst of all of this, Sancho, there is one man that has been hurt but the most by all of this, a man who has had his feelings hurt over what fans are saying, and that is the boatman himself, the yacht, the little one, Lil Yachty, who is so sad that people hate that celebrities are being involved.
Yadacito.
His tweet that he should have made. All right, I'm gonna pull it up. I want to read it word for word. Hang on.
We don't ever want to take a man out of context here. Yeah. We don't do that here. That wrestling is cool. We tell it how it is.
I felt so bad reading this because, like, brother, you shouldn't have tweeted this. So he's replying to somebody doing an AI Photoshop poster of all the main eventers at the poker table, but they've been replaced with the celebrity. So you got Jelly Roll, Pat McAfee, Lil Yachty, Speed, and for some reason Tom Brady are in this photo.
Well, there's rumors that they are going to get Tom Brady involved in the Logan Paul angle. But before we get to that point, this is coming off the segment where Lil Yachty was the hype man for Trick Williams on SmackDown for 2 segments.
A segment that I think people like Lil Yachty on, by the way. People are like, oh, like that's how you use celebrities. You know, like that's the perfect usage of them. Whether you feel like he added to it, it doesn't, that's not the point. The point is that, like, you know, he's not overstepping into sacrilegious areas like the main event of WrestleMania, you know what I mean? And he fit well with Trick.
I did agree with that, but at the same time, I say like Trick Williams could do all that by himself too. But it gets headlines for Trick Williams into the hip hop space.
Absolutely, I agree. I think it's beneficial for Trick to be with Lil Yachty, and I think it's more beneficial for Trick to be with Lil Yachty than it is for Lil Yachty to be with Trick, if that makes sense. So it feels like Lil Yachty's doing it for the love of the game because he is a huge wrestling fan. So I would say that most people were fine with it. But then he decided to reply to the AI poster.
What time did he post this? That's a big part of it.
I don't see the time on this.
There's no timestamp on Twitter? Yeah, you give me a timestamp on that. Because that's important. Because you know when you're late night, you're scrolling.
Oh, yeah. At 2:16 in the morning.
Okay, see, that's important. That's
nothing good happens after 2 a.m. I learned that from How I Met Your Mother. Nothing good happens after 2 a.m., Lil Yachty. You should have put down your phone. He replied to one of the few people that were criticizing him being in there. He says, I understand y'all upset, but don't try to step on my effing moment. I'm at the TV screen every Monday and Friday religiously. I've been to more PLEs than most. I probably know more history than most of y'all. Who's to say I don't deserve to be a part of something I love so dearly? Oof. Brother, just be quiet. None of what he said, by the way, justifies anything. Just, dude, you're famous and they want to use you, and it's cool that you're having fun out there and all, but why are you replying to these hate tweets basically flexing that, like, I got more money than you, so, like, I get to go to all of these? By the way, tone deaf, considering right after CM Punk says all these tickets are so super expensive. Yeah, of course you're on the front row of all of them because you can freaking afford them. Cool, you're a huge fan, but I know more about wrestling than you do. This is just not the way to try and win against the internet wrestling community, brother. No. The vast majority of people did not hate you being on this. I liked it. Why are you replying to these people?
You know what it reminds me of? Like, was it like a speed run of ruining your goodwill to WWE fans? What was that one guy that would do that operatic singing of all the songs? And then he was like, they should be paying me for covering their songs.
Oh my God, yes. Big Mark. Again. Big Mark.
Yes. We love you, Big Mark.
Yes.
Why did you turn heel?
Yeah, Mark, just shut up and just sing. It's time to play the game. That was great. Just shut up and sing.
And then he goes, I don't like these wrestling fans because they don't understand. I brought these songs back. You're like, whoa.
Hang on.
whoa. We were embracing you. You were the chosen one type of vibe. But the thing about Lil Yachty, and I stress this to all content creators, you could type out the reply, but just delete it.
Just delete it.
Just type it out, get it off your chest, and delete it, because there was nothing positive could have came out of this type of reaction. I think if he would have said, like, hey, man, stuck with kayfabe, that's always the default that will always work for you in this instance. Hey, man, Trick's my boy. He wanted him to hype him up. I was his hype man. That's it. It's that simple. Trick asked me to be there. I'm there for him because he's the future of wrestling. That's it. That's it. I did my job. I hyped up Trick. That's all I was there for. I love Mania. Can't wait.
Yeah.
Keep it simple.
You know what it almost feels like? I feel like my gut feeling is Lil Yachty was, because he is a fan. My gut feeling, my headcanon is that he was also pissed with the Pat McAfee thing. And he's mad that he's getting lumped in with it. That's what I'm going to tell myself, because he really is a big fan. Brother brought a PSP with SmackDown versus Raw 2007 to his show. That guy is a guy that really is there for the love of the game. He's dude, I was right beside him at Elimination Chamber, and he was hyped for the whole show. He's not one of those celebrities that just sits there and waits for the camera to pan to them to make noise. He is a true, genuine fan.
Wait. It's say like, and Sancho West is here. Go ahead.
And Sancho West is here.
Right? It's not one of those reactions.
Yeah, it's not one of those, man. He's got his title. He's got his friggin' PSP. Probably would bring an action figure if they let him. He loves this thing. But, like, dude, you jumped into the piranha's den without needing to. if you ask me. All the hate was towards Pat McAfee. You just shined a light on yourself. Like, I'm here too, guys. Like, nah, just shut up. Sneak under the radar.
IWC giveth and the IWC taketh. I'm telling you, Santi, you right now are the man of the people, right? You are the voice of the people, the voice of the voiceless. Your reactions are at an all-time high. Your YouTube channel is banging. Your Patreon at patreon.com/SantiSap for the Wrestling School podcast is doing great. And all of a sudden, when you show up for the WWE and you have that little lower third, Santi Zap,
it's over.
All of that goes out the window, brother. You become one of them, brother. You're not one of us. You're one of them. You sold out, man. Boo.
You're getting mad at me for something that hasn't happened.
I'm going to preemptively boo you.
That's what my fiance does. She'll get mad at me for something I haven't yet done. But just the thought of me doing it gets her angry.
She knows, because you know when that, hey, we lost a lot of goodwill by firing Triple H, and we're going to need some goodwill back. How about, Santi, you join TKO and show up there behind it? You know, we'll give you a little lower third, little shy. You stand up, we'll give you a wave. Ooh, what are you going to say, Santi?
Oh, man. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take the clout, damn it.
I knew it. You know what? You should say this tweet. So when you do get backlash for whatever you do, you just post
the same thing. Not like you will see it. You're blocked.
That's okay. I'm having a great time. But yes, dude, you should save this tweet. This is one of those all-time WWE IWC Hall of Fame tweets that you put in your back pocket. You know what I mean? You just keep it. Copy and pasta, ready to go whenever you need it.
Still the greatest internet wrestling tweet is Rey Mysterio. I can't wait to beat my kids at the new game WWE 2K14. Speaking of Rey, we can quickly talk about that. We have Rey Mysterio returning, and
we can do it.
Oh, dude, he's a brilliant man. He's out there playing 10-dimensional chess, brother. Rey Mysterio mysteriously, magically returns back from this lingering rib injury that seemed to be keeping him out of WrestleMania. He was nowhere to be seen. The second WWE confirms Gunther versus Seth Rollins. Hey, my ribs are good. Hey, I'm good. Ladder match. Hey, no, yeah, not only is he good enough to come back for a match, he's good to come back for a ladder match, brother. He's good to come back for the most dangerous match on this entire card. He's out. Hey, I'm good to go. Rey is out here refusing to, that's my headcanon, refusing to get retired by Gunther, and the man held out and the man won. To a degree, brother, that is ultimate deadbeat dad material. I love it. I love it, Rey.
Do you, Rey? So smart. What would Eddie do? Oh, that Eddie. He would not play ball.
Dude, he did the fake getting hit by the chair. He rung it against the ring. He passed out, and then as soon as he saw they confirmed Gunther versus Seth, he stood up for the pin.
They probably asked him, what city are you in? Then he purposely named the wrong city and the wrong date. You know what I mean? Faking the CTE. Yeah. Rey Mysterio was a genius. Dude, you could totally see it. And they ran out of people that Gunther could go retire. And the only one they're like, all right, who's old in this company? They're looking around. Rey, you there. My rib, I can't play. Oh, because we all want the best story for Rey in his send-off as a thank you. That's involving his son. Like, it's the only thing that makes sense. And there was I guess you could fantasy book tinfoil hat where people are like, oh, it'd be great if Dom comes out and saves his dad, and then he turns on his dad. It's like, I'm the one who should retire, to you bet. But if you watch Rey Mysterio wrestle, the dude can still go. Yeah. Every now and then you just go like, damn, was that Rey? I mean, yes, he's slower, but he still has the moveset that he had when he was younger. I think the only thing he doesn't do is the West Coast pop anymore, right?
Yeah, he does not do the West Coast pop. Yeah. He'll do like a springboard Bronco Buster, but he doesn't do the
gooch in the face.
The gooch, yeah. He'll still hit you with the gooch, but he won't flip and pin you with it. He gives you that good old 619 gooch. Eat it. Booyaka, booyaka.
What is it, like my sleep paralysis demons, Rey Mysterio?
Oh. I've had surgery on my knee 5 times.
Oh my God. I wish you would. You could do that. You know, I don't do sketches on the internet, but I could see you doing that with your big shadow. Like, hey. Are you still awake? Go to bed, behold.
All right, let's talk about the Mania card here. It seems like it has been fully confirmed. We have 13 matches. I do think they're probably going to end up adding one more on Friday Night SmackDown. They're teasing potentially Tiffany Stratton going after the Women's United States Championship. So there's that. So let me quickly run down the card here because it has been confirmed by Joe Tess. What matches are going to be on which night?
About WrestleMania match one.
So night 1 is Stephanie Paquette versus Liv Morgan, Seth Rollins versus Gunther, Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee, the women's tag team fatal 4-way, the unsanctioned match between Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu, the I Show Speed 6-man tag match, and then Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes.
Whoa.
The I Show Speed match.
No.
The I Show Speed teaming with the Vision against guys.
No.
I Show Speed. I Show Speed. The Pressure. Austin Theory. The Humble One. Logan Paul. The Usos and their buddy. Yeah.
And Mr. Slim Jim himself, brother. Go on, put some respect. Hey, well, I want to go ahead and derail the show. Look at us, Glaze Factory. Just when you thought we're on the outside looking in, guess who showed up to I Show Speed's freaking stream and put his ass through the monitor? Yeah, Mr. Home Invasion himself, Mr. Hamburglar LA Knight shows up and does the most viral thing on the internet. It's so bizarre to me, Santi, when I look at my timeline and all the Dexteros or what? Dextero or whatever?
Oh, Dexterno. I thought you said all the dicks, and I was like, what are we talking about here? No. That's a different conversation. That's a different podcast.
Dextero, where they come out and they're posting about LA Knight, right? And then you look at live stream fails, right? LSF on Reddit. They're posting about LA Knight putting the speed through the monitor. I'm like, my worlds are colliding. The incursion event is happening here, brother. And look at us, brother. 30 million views on the first thing, and then we get more millions of views, and here we go, we get more millions of views, and then look at us, man. We are going to get the most views out of WrestleMania. That's right, baby. The megastar LA Knight. Yeah, Glaze Factory is a poppin'. It's like all of a sudden Keith Lee came in and did a review. I'm gonna rate it 1 through 10, and he gave us a 10, baby. We got a lot of glaze going out the door right now, baby. I'm about to buy myself a yacht. I'm about to go on vacation. It's good for business, brother. And you think, oh, it's just because it's speed. It's just because of speed. Well, who's working with speed? Huh?
Do you think that this actually leads to LA Knight getting rewarded?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I want. I want you to listen, I'm happy for you. I'm happy for you. This is okay. Great. This is good for business. This is a good temporary boom. But I know you want the long-lasting business here, and we have seen it with celebrity workers in the past, where whoever they work with ultimately do get that big reward and get the big push. Is it LA Knight's time to shine, or are they going to be like, "Great job out there, Logan. That was good what you did out there with speed. Hey Jay, you want another world title run? That was great what you did there with I Show Speed. Hey Pressure, you're out there pressuring. Good job, man.
That's fine.
And then nothing for LA Knight. You don't think that's impossible?
No, that's shut up. Okay, first off,
he knows it's possible. He knows deep in the darkest parts of his brain that it's possible.
LA Knight, Money in the Bank. That's all roads lead to Money in the Bank, and it sucks that I have to wait till freaking September to get this payoff, because if not, I'm gonna be mad annoying for 5 more months. But that's where we are right now. Okay, that's where we are, and I'm telling you, Santi, this is great. This is great for me. I'm loving it. I got speed as a Fortnite skin. LA Knight is gonna have some big time, and the best part about it all is you didn't mention the 2 matches in the first hour on ESPN2. is Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu and that 6-man tag. So all the eyeballs, brother, are gonna be really nice.
I will say this: I'm disappointed in that. Not what they've picked for the first hour, in that the first hour is part of the show. I was expecting the first hour to be an elongated part of the pre-show where we could add more names into there. You know what I mean? I don't actually love that news, but I get it. You know, hey, let's hit them hard with the unsanctioned match. Hit him with the viral moments with Logan Paul and Speed.
No blood. You're going to be no blood on an unsanctioned match.
You're right. It's going to be no blood because of you're 1,000,000% right. It's going to be no blood. Actually, not necessarily true, Sancho. It's on ESPN and they have like fight night and they can't stop UFC blood.
Yeah, but that's at night. This is like on the middle of the day almost. It's at 5 p.m.
Yeah, no, when they have cards out in the Middle East, it airs early on ESPN. I'm just trying to be hopeful. I think you're right. I'm just saying it's not impossible. This feud needs blood, man. Anyways, I immediately look at night one and I'm like, damn, this is stacked. Like, I think the only kind of match where I'm like, is the women's fatal 4-way, but I bet you that'll probably be good still. But like, this is a pretty stacked night one. Let's go to night two. Night two, you've got the 6-way ladder match with Rey Mysterio now in there. Hilarious that we have yet to see Rusev appear on TV for like 2 months.
I was waiting for him to.
Yeah, so was I. And he's in this match. Oba, Femi, Lesnar. I mean, the best feud.
With Fluffy.
With Fluffy, of course. Sami Zayn, Trick Williams, Rhea Ripley, Jade, Dominic Mysterio, Finn Balor, and then the main event, Roman and Punk. I look at this and like, I think night one is more structured. Like it's a bit more balanced. Night two to me is being heavily carried by Roman and Roman Punk, obviously, as the main event with their star power, and Oba, Femi, Lesnar. The 6-way ladder match is going to be amazing, but obviously, like, we don't really have any like narrative going into it. That's just going to be a great showcase. My money's on that being the opener for night two, right? Like, that's what's going to be on free feeds.
It's on the first hour.
Oh, it's been confirmed.
Yeah,
Lesnar and Femi is in the first hour. What the? I get it though. Lesnar has the cachet in ESPN with his history as UFC champion.
Wild. Doesn't that make you a little worried?
Incredibly worried. Yeah, because you would think you'd want Lesnar to win that. If you're putting this in front of the ESPN crowd, you'd think Lesnar. That's where my mind goes, right? Like, if you're WWE, well, now TKO, and you're putting this in front of that ESPN crowd, Brock Lesnar is famous with that crowd for his tenure in UFC.
And they planted the seed where Gunther's like, I'm going to need a bigger favor than a thank you, Paul. Shook his hand. And we all know Gunther and Lesnar at SummerSlam in Minnesota is heavily rumored, but I don't know. I'm going to be optimistic. I'm just hoping that I don't see this spot that I've been instantly being in my brain, Santi, where Oba Femi goes, he's dominating Brock. Like, it's the opposite that you would expect. And so people go like, oh my God, Lesnar's in trouble. He's like knocked out on his feet. And then they do the typical thing where Oba Femi goes for the shoulder tackle, hits the ring post, staggers out of it.
Rookie mistake.
Staggers out of it. F5, boom, 1, 2, 3. Brock wins. It is up there for that to happen. And that's what I was saying, that if you are the Oba fan first classer, as I am just general admission, hello. If you're me, you could see that possibility that Lesnar could win in front of that ESPN crowd. But if you're a first classer, you got to accept that is a possibility. But I don't think a lot of your first classers are. I don't know. I think you're so Oba ready to roll that you think the red carpet could roll out for Oba, which it'd be crazy amplified, like a 2 times multiplier, that if it happens in front of that ESPN crowd for free.
I think it's going to be just Lesnar's choice. I think Lesnar's going to get the pick. What happens here? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I keep telling myself, like, yo, Lesnar seems to be having the time of his life in this feud. He is selling for this guy. The camera angles of like fan camera angles during like Oba's entrance, he's kind of like vibing the song. He just kind of seems like I don't know. In my head, I'm like, oh, old man Lesnar's like, this is it. This is the guy.
Good Cena. Release.
Yeah, I think he's ready to release. Only the thing is, as you said, though, there is that other dude that they're already hinting towards at SummerSlam in Gunther. But as we learned from Cena, like it's not impossible to go into your retirement match having lost. Cena went back-to-back L's. And I will say this, Sancho, as somebody that was there, Cena having lost to Dominic Mysterio, like literally 3 weeks before his retirement match, did nothing to lower my excitement and anxiety about the retirement match. I went in with the same level of like, ugh, like the heebie-jeebies because it was his final match as I would have had he had the Intercontinental Championship. So I don't think, and that was with only 3 weeks. I don't think Lesnar losing here and then, you know, in 4 months losing at SummerSlam, I don't think it's the end of the world. It's not the end of the world for anybody, if you really think about it. Like, well, who's it going to be the end of the world if he goes in with a loss to Femi at SummerSlam? To who? Who does that hurt, really? Gunther, if he beats Brock Lesnar? Not at all. Not at all. I mean, he beat Cena after having taken a loss, and it still worked for Gunther. Now, did WWE follow it up? Well, no, not really, but it did work for Gunther in terms of elevating him to this perennial main event thing that he has become. I think Lesnar should lose, but I think you have to be blissfully ignorant to think that he can't win, that he won't win.
What's bigger for you? Oba beating Brock or Oba beating King of the Ring?
I think Oba beating Brock. I think Oba beating Brock is the bigger career move. I really think so.
Then a guaranteed match at SummerSlam for the title.
Yes. Yeah. I think in the grand scheme of things, think about the guys that were able to beat Brock Lesnar during this, like, since 2011 return and what it's done for those guys. Like, I mean, Seth Rollins became a perennial main eventer off the back of the cash-in. Once Roman Reigns and that feud with Brock Lesnar, he became the undisputed face of the company, you know, for better or for worse, and then eventually the tribal chief and stuff. There is a lot to gain. A tremendous amount to gain from beating Brock Lesnar proper. Think about when Goldberg beat him. How crazy that was. What that did for Goldberg. Catapulted him. In 2 minutes. That's all it took. It absolutely made Goldberg relevant again in 2016. I think that the bigger move would be him beating Lesnar.
Brother, the more I'm looking into this, that 6-man ladder match has to go like 25 minutes, right? 20, 30? Maybe 20 on the low end?
I think 20 on the low end, yeah. I would guess 20 minutes.
Okay, 20 minutes plus entrances be like 28 for all those dudes, right? 29 maybe total. Mm-hmm. That would give us 30 minutes with entrances for Lesnar and video package, setting up Lesnar and Femi, all the entrances. I'm thinking this match is less than 10 minutes.
Oh, it has to be. I don't see this match. I actually, I'm going to do an over-under with the chat. I'm going to do an over-under with the chat. I've set it at, I'm going to be at under 9 minutes.
Okay.
If I'm right, I'm right. If I'm wrong, I'm gifting the chat 100 gifted on WrestleMania.
100? Why not 150?
Okay, I can do 100 on Twitch, 50 on Kick, because on Kick I get like all of it back.
I told you this is bad. Get that tweet for Lil Yachty ready. But yeah, that's one thing to think about. That's one thing to think about. Then that hour is a tight hour because they're gonna have to nail the out because they're gonna be like, and that's it for us here at ESPN. Go to WrestleMania, buy the whatever, blah blah blah, because we're gonna have more matches there. That's going to be the kickoff into the pay-per-view side of things, the PLE, the premium experience. And
that's when everybody goes, all right, thanks, ESPN. Let me turn on my VPN. Go to Netflix.
Well, is it going to be on Netflix? Yeah. It is, right?
Yeah, worldwide. Worldwide it's on Netflix.
So I'm wondering that's going to be that factor. And for me, if it's a 9-minute match, even less, I think that opens the door for Oba more so.
Oh, I think it's still 50-50 at under 8 minutes.
Really?
That's still a Lesnar style match, brother. That's where Lesnar lives. Do work, suplex, pin, go home.
I can see it now. The stare down is going to be epic. The crowd's going to be crazy. I think they're going to go back and forth without giving up any of the positioning. I think Brock's going to go for a suplex. Oba's going to block it. Oba's going to go for something. Brock's going to block it.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Brock's going to hit a German suplex, and then Oba will do the thing where he rolls through it, and he goes, yeah. And it's going to be sick.
And then goes like, come on, bring it in. And then Brock's going to be like, ooh.
Hey,
but here we go.
You got two guys that are like damn near, together almost 600 pounds, but Pat McAfee thinks that we're running 60-minute Iron Man matches with 5'2" guys. Again, man, Pat's not watching the product. That's why his promo didn't make any sense. Anyways,
I just wish he did that in front of Michael Cole. I think Michael Cole would have sold that moment even more than what happened on SmackDown, because Joe was like, oh boy. Pat
oh wow.
Oh wow, Pat McAfee, that dastardly guy, Pat McAfee. How dare he? Then you got Wade like, oh, come on there, Joe. It's not bad. You know what I mean? That's the pairing between Wade and Joe. Okay, that is night 1. We talked about night 2. Where would you buy your ticket if you only had the ability to go to one night?
Me, I want to see Brock Oba, and they know this is the match that is moving, that is mobilizing people.
Okay,
but I think night 1 pound for pound is better.
Really?
Yeah, man. I think like if I really look at it again, the reason why I think pound for pound it's better, it's because you've got some of the better narratives going in here. I look at Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre. That's been a solid build and a great stipulation. I know a lot of people aren't necessarily excited for it, but this is a 6-month-long build between Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. That absolutely is worthy of paying attention to. And arguably the second best build is on this night in Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer. And then you've got
if it happens.
What do you mean? Oh yeah, with the nasty goose egg. I think it is going to happen. I think since she's posting about it, I think it is going to happen. You got Graps here, brother. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. No build because of circumstances, but that's a dream match. That is an actual dream match.
They had a pretty solid back and forth on Monday night. You know, the headlock into the curb stomp, dodge into the V trigger out to.
And I love that they cool. Yeah, and I love that they didn't overcomplicate it. It's just like, I don't know, what are you doing? And then we kind of find out like, hey, Gunther is thinking about the future. I was like, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no one's here for your story, guys. We're here to see you fight, and we care about what Gunther does after Mania, and we care about what Seth does after Mania. That night, we just care about seeing Graps.
Do we get Braun Breaker here?
Yes. I can't wait to, like, for example, from a viral perspective, like I am seated to see what they're going to do with
LA
Speed.
Knight, yeah.
with Speed and Logan Paul. Can't wait to see what the two megastars do.
The third megastar as well, yes.
And for all the flaws of this, you cannot at the very least say you're not morbidly curious about what the heck is going on with Cody and Randy and Pat McAfee.
Wait, why are we not talking about Jey Uso? Jey Uso's in there too, the main event, dude.
Did you see that they went right back to his theme? They're just like, they're not, damn it, they're not eating enough.
They're not. It's too good of a theme to throw away, so I get it.
But like at least change it to it's just us, Us, day one
time. It was still weird.
Yeah, whatever. I like night 1 more than night 2, even though night 2 has the match I'm the most excited for in Brock and Oba.
What surprise do we get out of? I know we're going to do our own prediction show, but it's just fun to talk about this far out. But do you think we get a big surprise ending night 1 that bleeds into night 2, like a cliffhanger type of situation?
Yes.
Do we get that monumental bang that I'm talking about, where it goes, oh my God, what's going on with TKO and WWE?
Yes, I do. I do think that you're going to want to create a huge social buzz off the back of night 1 to get people to buy ESPN Plus that didn't want to buy it for night 1 to buy it for night 2.
So that would be the return of an old name.
Yes, I like The Rock would make sense here, right? You want what I would think that they would like to do is for those that weren't able to catch it on ESPN because they didn't want to pay for it, right? You create such a buzzworthy moment at the end of night one that it goes wild, like crazy viral on social media. So people see it on social media and say, hey, okay, I got to see how this thing impacts night two now. So I think so. Is that being optimistic?
Place? Is this the same place?
Go ahead, Sancho.
If you bring in an old name in The Rock, and that bleeds over to night two main event with CM Punk, and already Cody and CM Punk are aligned themselves on the same issue. We saw that on social media because they tweeted about tombstone pictures of Val Kilmer and Kurt Russell, or Huckleberry Finn, all that kind of stuff. Oh, not Huckleberry, but I'm your Huckleberry. Anyway, Wyatt Earp. Anyway, you get all that stuff. Do you think there's going to be a character in a night two that's going to go up against The Rock to defend the WWE that is a legend as well?
You could have Triple H's music hit, and then we get a face-to-face between them.
Or yeah. But who's a legend that's been kind of seemingly on the outside? He's always ready. He has himself a ranch with a bunch of cats.
Oh, Matt Cardona, always ready.
No, he doesn't have a ranch with a bunch of cats. He's bald, has a goatee.
He's about as anti-authority as it gets. You're talking about D'Lo Brown, aren't you? Yeah.
Sure.
Would you pop for D'Lo Brown in 2026?
Why not? I'm all for it. You want the attitude of Rock? Bring in D'Lo Brown.
Bring in D'Lo Brown. You're talking about Cold Stone.
Yes, Cold Stone, which Denhausen has been saying his name a lot, by the way. But if Stone Cold Steve Austin was resurrected from his ranch and like walked down like Liam Neeson and Taken type of vibe, and all of a sudden you get Rock and Stone Cold being like not necessarily in-ring participants, it may be, sure, but just being the representative of like, this is WWE. Pat McAfee, you wanted the Attitude Era? Well, this is Mr. Attitude Era, Stone Cold Steve Austin. You get what you get, and he's going to represent the people, the WWE. Hell, these ticket licenses need to be lower. You know, all that kind of stuff here. What? Make it $20. What? $15. What? $10 tickets. What? $5 tickets. That's totally possible. And because you know who could sell Stone Cold's music better than anybody? Who could have that wide-eyed look that makes you go like, oh, they're in trouble more than anybody? The Rock, baby.
The Rock was always so good at selling the glass shatter.
Right. So that's what I'm trying to say.
Rock and Vince.
I feel that if they're going to set up night one to be, like you mentioned, the fire that's happening, I think you have to still have the WWE fire back in night two. And I think that would be amazing.
Is that who's calling you? Is that Pat McAfee?
Oh, it's my tile. When I lose my wallets. Yesterday, you want to hear a quick story?
Hit me.
I was eating Chick-fil-A, trying to get my protein gains, getting those grilled chicken nuggets to get the 12 count. Not only that, put in a little zesty buffalo sauce, so you get the 12 count, the grilled chicken, and you also get mac and cheese because you don't get the fries because the fries are bad carbs, you know what I mean? But the mac and cheese, not only you get some protein, but it's pretty decent in the fatty. Anyway, point I want to make is I'm eating that in my car, right? I pour it in there, put the chicken, and the chicken filled with buffalo sauce pops right down on my wallet. So I'm in the car driving, going, oh, buffalo chicken sauce on my lap and on my wallet. And so I had to scrape it back into the cup. Did I still eat it? Yes, I did.
Of course you did.
Does it smell like buffalo sauce? Oh, absolutely it does.
Gift that keeps on giving.
Is my money covered in buffalo sauce? Yes, it is. Hey, man, I'm trying to, gotta get that protein intake up. You know what I mean?
Hey, you didn't need the buffalo sauce though. There's no protein in there.
No, well, I mean, a lot of it ended up on the wallet.
That's true. It's true. There's a metaphor in there somewhere. I don't know what it is, but it's in there.
It is. If you try to do the right thing, you still end up with buffalo sauce in your lap. Because I was trying to do the right thing. I could have got a greasy burger. Could have got a delicious donut.
What night do you prefer?
I prefer night 2, oddly enough.
Okay. Why? Because you're not allowed to enjoy Brock and Oba, so what's the point?
Well, that would be me going to get my hot dog, right? There's no one going to be.
Yeah, everybody will be seated, and Sancho has to make the walk of shame, like, this is my bathroom break because I'm not allowed to enjoy this.
But as beside I'm not allowed. I'm leaving because I'm not allowed.
Dude, I need everybody like in that stadium to I need people to wear wristbands identifying them as general admission or first class for Oba Femi.
Fair enough. I think the reason why I would pick night 2 is because I feel that they're going to add, we talked about that 7th match that they're going to add. If it's Tiffy, sure, but I still think the return of Demon Finn Balor is something to watch in person. I think that's going to be cool.
Sure.
I know you made that face, but I agree that they've ruined the surprise. I would have loved to see it. The 6-man ladder match, I think, is going to be an absolute blast to witness. I think you're going to see the making of a star with Javon Evans, and you're going to see some spectacular ladder match isms or whatever. I think this is going to be a coronation of Trick Williams being the United States title. That's going to be awesome. And I do feel that night 2 is going to end on that big note. That's going to be like the part 2 of night 1 main event. I feel what they did with Cody and CM Punk being those first type of characters to go up to speak out against TKO means that they're connected in this main event. And since they're both main eventing each night, they're going to connect the 2 pieces. And you could have Cody Rhodes come out to help CM Punk against the TKO. I want to play a game with you, Santi.
I want to play a game. Oh, dude, imagine if Jigsaw wasn't just Jigsaw, it was Triple H. Little Triple H comes out in a tricycle.
He doesn't want to be a part of the poster. But it's Triple H. You know what I mean?
I want to play a game. The rules are simple.
If you were going to have a Team WWE, Team TKO, who is on the Team WWE, and I'm going to preference this that you could have heels on Team WWE. Of course.
Yeah, Cody and Punk. 1-2 for sure. Team WWE, give me Drew McIntyre.
I was going to say that.
Give me Drew McIntyre in there, brother. Give me Drew. He's screwed. Absolutely screwed. I'll go Drew there.
Give me some women superstars too.
Oh, okay. Hang on. Okay, because I'm kind of trying to create like an opposition here. I'll give you another man. I'm going to give you Oba Femi. Oba Femi for Team WWE. And
he's like the Hulk.
And you got to put Seth Rollins in Team WWE. If we're going to do 5 men versus 5 men versus 5 men. In terms of the women for Team WWE,
Rhea?
Absolutely Rhea Ripley for sure. Io Sky.
Okay. Do you put Charlotte on TKO
Team
or WWE?
No, Team WWE. That's Team WWE for sure. And Becky Lynch. Team WWE. Ay. And I'd like one more for Team WWE for the women. Tiffany Stratton, maybe?
I was going to say Tiffany Stratton feels like a TKO type of character.
Yeah, like with the desire to go to Hollywood, I could see that. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Chelsea Green, Team WWE.
Okay. Yeah, because it's TKO that keeps her down.
Yeah. So then on the men's side, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar would be Team TKO for me.
Solo?
No.
Okay. No. You need bigger.
Yeah, I don't think Solo is in there.
Trick Willie?
Trick Willie's a great one. Yeah, Trick Willie, absolutely. I mean, I guess you have to have Randy Orton.
Yep.
Right?
So that's 4.
Who's kind of like the opposing a Drew McIntyre type?
I mean, you have to put Pat in there, but he's not.
Yeah,
I feel like Pat did a great job of being like a manager. He was like a Jim Cornette, like, this guy's going to be the future. This guy, 6'5", 290 pounds. Like, he did actually a really good job on that aspect. I'm looking at the card.
You could look at Gunther. You could put a Gunther type in there, right? He killed WWE, right? Where he killed John Cena. You could make that argument there. Okay. And then maybe he's a double agent. He chokes out Brock Lesnar, and that sets up Brock Lesnar and Gunther or whatever. Women's, this one's a little bit harder. I'd actually put Lara Valkyria in there because of her getting screwed by WWE and the hand ties, whatever. I could see like a storyline of her being upset with WWE brass and like maybe being a turncloak and going with Team TKO. Jade Cargill, that's probably captain, right? Jade Cargill. Funny enough,
love for Kiana James.
I put Tiffany before Kiana. We can come back to Kiana.
Okay.
Funny enough, I feel like Stephanie and Liv kind of feel like neutral, like Switzerland in this situation. Like they could be. I think they wouldn't be on either side.
How about the Bella Twins?
That's Team WWE, if anything.
Okay.
It's tougher with the women, really. Like it really is. I don't know. We'll have to put a pin on that.
Yeah, but because I mean, I think with the women, you could easily just go heels and faces, but you don't really see.
It can't be that. It can't be.
I know
that.
It can't be that. It has to feel like it's a mix. It kind of reminds me of like when the X-Men go up against something else. It's always like they cross the mutants together.
Yeah,
you know, they have the X-Men with some of Magneto's people.
You got to think about like what a civil war really is at the end of the day. It is opposing ideological views where one side sees the other side as evil, but there are combatants on each side that are just everyday people, that they're friends, they're just on opposing sides, right? And to just make it one side cartoonishly evil might not necessarily be the route to go, which is why now I'm starting to rethink the men, because we went pretty twirl your mustache evil there, didn't we?
Well, we put Drew on the WWE side.
We did put Drew on the WWE side.
Are you talking about on the TKO side?
I meant on the TKO side.
You could put Sami Zayn then, if you want that.
Oh God, brother. Why were you putting him in there? It could have been Carmelo Hayes, but no, you had to go with Sami Zayn. Carmelo Hayes is perfect now that I think about it. But no, Sancho, you had to go with Sami Zayn. Classic Sancho.
Isn't it wild that he gets Sammy Hogan chance?
Like Sammy Hogan chance. That's insane.
Wow.
I always thought that was always going to be an exclusively internet thing, but there was like a dozen people loud enough that you can hear the Sammy Hogan chants.
Do you think it's because it got to the point where it reached a fever pitch on the replies on both WWE social posts and his own post?
Could be.
Like that was like the majority of the thing, and people were like, oh, that's my. I guess that's what we're doing here now. We're gonna call him Sammy Hogan.
I hope he acknowledges it on TV.
Where's the red and yellow?
I mean, Becky Lynch acknowledged it, right? She referenced the whole Becky Hogan thing.
When it comes crashing down in your little water bottle.
Dude, were you like? And this is in the pro wrestling sense, not in like the actual like real human being sense. Were you just angry at how the whole Sami Zayn and Carmelo Hayes match went? Because I was angry at Sami Zayn. I hated Sami Zayn, the character that we're talking about. Like I wanted to see all kinds of bad wrestling related things happen to Sami Zayn because it felt like he did something so heinous, so wrong, so dirty. But, you know, it is kind of poetic that that's the thing that he was refusing to do for so long, and he would get hate for it anyway for not doing it. So it is an interesting morality conversation to have there with the character of Sami Zayn that I do think gives him some interesting layers and would even give him justification to turn heel.
I feel I wasn't mad at Sammy. I felt that WWE spit in our face. They're like, oh, you want Mello? Let me double down and tell you no twice. The first time, be like, no, not going to happen. Now is really not going to happen. That's how I felt going into that scenario. Now, he could easily be added again. I said this with my watch party, and I said this on YouTube video, is that sometimes the WWE takes things away from us to see what our reaction, to see if they go like, ooh, do they care enough to really make a big noise about Mello not being champion? Okay, they kind of care. You know what? Let's double down and see how much do they really care. And I felt like I was disrespected on that booking decision, not only to make it the main event, but to do it in such a way where you purposely protect him by making him do a spot, and he's like, my knee, and then he loses because of his knee, and he does that ref situation where the ref's checking him like, at least Melo's protected. I could go home happy. Nah, man, I went home upset because you just told us what we wanted is not going to happen.
Which always seems to happen with Sami Zayn. We want Chad Gable. Nah, you're going to get Sami Zayn. We want Karrion Kross. Nah, you're going to get Sami Zayn. And boom. Again, like clockwork, dude. It's insufferable booking of Sami Zayn. That's the problem.
You said the name Karrion Kross. You think the guy in the suit in the back of the truck that one of his viral moments was that Ari Emanuel that Karrion Kross was talking about? And not Triple H. Remember, everyone thought it was like, oh, he must be talking about Triple H, the guy in the truck. No. I think he was talking about Ari Emanuel.
Yeah, I think that line. I don't know, man. That's making the assumption that Ari Emanuel is in the truck in the back on weekly episodes of Raw and for smaller PLEs. Ari Emanuel has no clue what's going on in WWE. Let's be real.
I think what he meant was like TKO. Like he took a shot at TKO and not at Triple H. And that's why he got let go.
Could be. But I think you can fire Karrion Kross or get rid of him and not re-sign him, but you can't do that with Cody and Punk.
That's what I'm saying. That's the difference. You can't do that with those two. And I think the more you think about it, that means Triple H is on the chopping block because you have to find somebody responsible for this mess. And Pat McAfee's blaming Cody when you and I both know this is not Cody's fault. I strongly believe that this was in New Orleans, we wouldn't have this issue. I think ticket sales would be on pace for what they were last year if they were in New Orleans. Because you know what's interesting, and I think we kind of overpassed it, not overglazed it, but we passed by it, is announcing things and not saving them for WrestleMania moments. We had two instances of that on Monday night. The return of Rey Mysterio, which they easily could have done like the Hardy Boys. Would it have been a big pop like the Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy? No. But it still would have been a great pop for all of a sudden. Booyaka, booyaka. Back. Hey. If you would have made that, it would have been a big, sizable pop for Rey to be added to this. Maybe it would have been a disappointment if people were expecting someone bigger because it was saved for Mania, sure. And the second thing is the return of the Demon Balor. Like, I think that would have been saved because doing this 2 weeks out, I'm not checking ticket prices and how much flights are and hotel costs right now for Demon Balor. That's not moving the needle for me. Now, if The Rock popped out last week, I'd be thinking about it. Okay. It might.
Let me reframe it for you.
Reframe it.
All right, you now know that it's Demon Balor. Okay, you say that's not necessarily the thing that's going to move you to buy tickets and flights and hotels, but could that move you to get ESPN Plus?
If I didn't have it?
Yeah.
No.
Okay. Fair enough. Like, yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to see, like, what is it that they were trying to, what financial motivation they were trying to move forward. I don't get it either.
I don't know, because that's what people replied back to me on Twitter when I said this should have been, like, and I see other content creators in the space in terms of the talking heads facing the same kind of pushback, like they want to sell tickets. Don't you get it? It's a business, idiot. I'm like,
yeah, I don't think people are flying for Demon Balor at this point. That's why I reframed it to like maybe something smaller, like maybe getting an ESPN subscription or Netflix or whatever.
If I was in Vegas, maybe I'd think about driving down to go check it out and buy a ticket. Maybe.
No, you wouldn't.
Well, yeah, I know.
No, you wouldn't.
But that's the point I wanted to make, is a lot of these things they feel like they're for that home audience. Like, oh, hell yeah, dude, we get Demon Balor. Sick. We get Rey? All right, man. We get Rey too? Sick. Good thing I'm already going to tune in.
A casual might be more willing to, like Rey could move a casual or a lapsed fans. Not necessarily to go to Mania, but like to get ESPN. I think so.
Question for you. Now that we have these cards here, let's talk about the inevitable. Who's missing? We already talked about Melo, not on the card. I think Raquel is another big omission as well. We finally were right. Wrestling is cool. Planted the seed early. We said Io Sky would be involved in Jade and Rhea, and it played off exactly how we predicted.
So, yeah, very predictable.
Very predictable. But we still called it early.
We called it
early. It'd be that spot. The same kind of edge type of situation.
On this day.
We see clearly. What else? Other missions? Ilya Dragunov, probably one of the biggest ones.
For sure. Io Sky as of the making of this video.
It seems like they're setting up something for post-Mania with Asuka.
Yeah.
Because Asuka has that vignettes.
Asuka.
And speaking of that, Asuka, she curses people.
Of course. That's right.
Of course.
Damian Priest. Remember we talked about like how like the story of him getting the tag titles was because he said he needed to find a way to Mania and the tag titles was going to be a way for him to get there. Didn't work.
They could have a match. Still. SmackDown.
I'm not saying that. I mean, I'm not a magician. I'm talking as of the making of this video. He doesn't have a match.
We didn't talk about. You talked about Tiffany Stratton and Julia being the 7th match. I think it could be.
Yeah, but we got to treat Julia and Tiffany Stratton as
that's right.
As people missing it. We have to treat it as they're missing a WrestleMania right now because we don't know otherwise.
Do you feel the same? Like, oh man, that we're missing them compared to the same as Melo and Ilya? I don't think so.
I think I'm oh man. Actually, no, I am oh man about both of them, almost in a similar vein. I think the difference is that it feels like we had Melo, and they made an active decision to not give us Melo specifically. You know what I mean? With the women's, it's a different type of bummer. It's just like, dude, the talent is there, and you chose to do nothing with it. Hell, two of the women that we're talking about are in the literal Mania poster in Tiffany and Io Sky.
And the commercial.
Yeah, like what's going on there? So it's a different type of bummer, but like I'm equally bummed.
Okay.
I would say.
Okay.
So Solo Sikoa, he's still yet to have a WrestleMania match. Are you aware of that? He's never had a Mania match.
He's been Mania adjacent though.
Of course. Yeah, he's been Mania adjacent.
My favorite solo is My Little Pony solo with that little tuffy of blonde hair.
Oh yeah. That's now kind of becoming OG solo.
Yep. That's that WrestleMania 40 when he's yelling at Roman to do. Dude, that was like that first inkling, like, ooh, we got something here with Solo, and then
nothing.
It's just like a raccoon washing food, like a cotton candy, and
it just disappears on him.
Wait, where is the food? Same thing with No Uncle Howdy and the White Six.
But that one I get.
You know what I don't get?
What?
I understand that we want this for Tripla Mania, but I want Grande Americano and OG Grande Americano here.
Dude, I feel it could have.
This is where they originated.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you want the biggest show for wrestling to feature these AAA characters? I know it means more. Mask versus mask, it means more in AAA, but you could have had like a pre-show match with those guys and have like multiple, like Los Americanos versus some AAA guys for OG Americano. Confuse us even more.
Listen, I like Rusev, but Rusev has done nothing on Raw. It should have been one of or both Americanos instead of Rusev. I do think Rusev is going to add an interesting dynamic to the match. But like the Americanos were actually featured on a regular basis. And the Americanos, like, dude, that's like an interesting addition. You want to know why? Because if you add El Grande Americano, all of a sudden you give Bravo and Rayo a spot at Mania without giving them a match. Because now they get to be auxiliary pieces around and they can take bumps. Remember Candice LeRae in the tag team match, right? Taking that nasty bump. She wasn't part of the match. So like that could have been adding even more stars and more action, more fodder into the match instead of Rusev, who hasn't been featured on TV in God knows how long.
Sabe mucho. I think Rusev's appearance is contract related.
Oh, interesting.
Right?
Could be.
Kind of feels that way because it's like, well, you get a match at Mania because you're Rusev.
Because there's no justifiable reason for Rusev to be on the card, like from a on-screen narrative perspective. Yeah,
correct. I wish they start a tradition where they actually have an NXT match at Mania, just one.
That'd be cool. It's difficult because they have Stand and Deliver, right? Be so close to Mania. I've always said that too, but like with now Stand and Deliver becoming a thing over the past half decade now, during Mania season, it is kind of impossible because like whatever match that's big enough from NXT to feature on the WrestleMania card, you should be featuring that in Stand and Deliver. Maybe
the number one contender match that leads to the match at Stand and Deliver.
Could be. Well, but stand and deliver is before Mania. You see what I mean? So it doesn't. It structurally, it's too weird.
You can still set up a number one contender after Mania.
You could, like, you could have a. You could. I'm not saying it's impossible, but yeah, if the match is big enough to be a Mania, it should be headlining stand and deliver. That's the thing.
That's why it's hard to shake that it's the undercard. It's like the under.
Yeah. All right, Sancho, let's bring it home here.
You're pumpkin.
No, I gotta go. I gotta go.
Juicy show, you little pumpkin.
We're gonna be like 2 hours and 20 minutes. This was good.
Oh, you know who's missing on the card? Danhausen.
He'll be on the show though. He'll be at the show for sure.
But I'm ready for Danhausen to be in the ring. Are you?
I'm fine with him not being in the ring.
Oh, come on. I'm ready. After we saw him do that perfect angle with the hot tag
so good with the ref. Brilliant. Yeah, the sell from the ref was incredible.
Okay, folks, here's a new heat order. Here it is, what we have here. My autofocus is not going to work, so because I have my other camera, let me just see. So let's see.
If we can't see it. We can't see it.
I know.
Just read it out.
All right. Well, the graphics are out then. Number 11, Danhausen. Number 10, LA Knight. Number 9, Division. Number 8, Gunther and Seth Rollins. Number 7, CM Punk. Number 6, Stephanie Vaquette and Liv Morgan. Number 5, Penta. Number 4, Speed. Number 3, Chuck Wille. Number 2, Sami Zayn. Number 1, Oba. Femi. You know, there's an earworm the way Paul Heyman says Oba.
Oba. Right? Femi.
Oba. Femi.
All right. Number 1, Pat McAfee. And then 2, CM Punk.
Right. 3, Cody.
3, Cody.
New heat order. 1, Pat. 2, Punk. 3, Papa Rhodes.
You want to put 4, Randy?
No, I feel like Randy has become like the outside.
Afterthought. I agree.
Like no one's talking about Randy Orton in this feud. Cody's first words out of his mouth wasn't really about Randy Orton, and no one's been talking about Randy. And this is the problem when you insert a random celebrity into your thing that has no business being involved, because it becomes the outlier. It becomes like that, like a smudge on a painting. Like, what's that smudge there? This is a mistake. You ever like write something and someone points out a grammatical error? That's what this is. A grammatical error. Oh, you wrote with your ass. Number 4, Speed.
Yeah, give me Speed. Yeah, because I think we can include the live stream.
Yes,
in this week's conversation, and then maybe like LA Knight on the list somewhere with him being part of that.
Can we put it at 7?
Okay.
Yes. Any love for Rhea and Io Sky
God, no.
Jade?
No.
Wow, you're so cold on that. I can't wait to rat you out to Rhea Ripley, and you're gonna fold. You're gonna fold. Just looking at the rest of this card, I know AJ and Becky had that great little promos vignette, the interview. Any love for Oba at 5 and Brock?
Oba and Brock. Yes. Okay. Much love. By the way, I'm going to tell Oba Femi that you remember Sancho said that Oba can't finish Mushroom Cup on N64 and 50cc. I heard it plain as day that he's not capable of it.
Slow, dude.
Yeah. You can't even get to the finish line.
He says you picked Toad because you suck. He would probably pick Yoshi. I pick Yoshi. Yoshi's my boy.
I was always a Luigi guy.
Luigi. Number 6. Penta? Rey?
I'm kind of leaning after. I mean, right now the social buzz I'm seeing is Liv and Steph, bro.
Yeah, is Liv dead and Raquel dead? I mean,
Roxanne did confirm she seems that she's okay.
Really?
Yeah, she posted during the pod.
Does she have like a goose egg herself?
We can't see. She has like an ice bag over her face.
Oh Jesus, dude! The skull bump that I heard it still shakes me to a core.
Yeah, man, it was gross.
It was gnarly. Okay, number 8 then. So far we have LA Knight 7, Liv Steph 6, Brock Oba 5, 4 Speed 3, Cody 2, Punk 1, Pat McAfee. I'm looking at the Mania card. Any love for Logan, Austin Theory, Dom, Finn Balor, Gunther. And,
yeah,
right?
Gunther. Yeah. I would say Gunther.
All I know is Seth Rollins, the people still absolutely love him.
Yeah.
But he just feels like misused in this Mania because there's really nothing for him to do. He gets the pops. He gets the energy.
Yeah, it's a circumstantial thing.
Well, I was going to say, like, you could tell that it's not there for him because he got bumped off the segment that he was supposed to be on. Was the opening segment. That was a rumor that he was going to open up Raw and then CM Punk came in. And not so fast. Any love for Penta at 9? Any love for Danhausen at 11? Or does he make the top 10?
Oh, well, Danhausen's 11 for sure. Oh, I mean, listen, he might get 10 after cursing the ref.
Oh, okay.
That put him at 9. Huge. Yeah. That went crazy.
Danhausen. Any love for Lil Yachty? Trick. Lil Yachty popular for the wrong reasons, but still on the list.
Dude, just lay under the radar, Lil Yachty. You're a boat. You should know about radars. No.
That is like the worst thing to tell him. You would get clowned out, sir. And interesting enough, we didn't talk about it in the pod, but Chris Jericho still in AEW.
Still in AEW. About Trick Willie here. He was great.
Gingerbread, ginger snap, ginger soda,
ginger ale.
Someone cut in a photo of Con Man, like. I'll give you Trick.
All right.
Trick Willie. All right. Number 10, we have Trick Willie. Number 9, Danhausen. Number 8, Gunther. Number 7, LA Knight. Number 6, Liv and Stuff. Number 5, Femi and Brock Lesnar. Number 4, Speed. Number 3, Cody Rhodes. Number 2, Punk. And number 1, Pat McAfee. There we go. Read the list, you clown.
All right. Well, folks, did you just call me you clown? Dude, you know what somebody broke down for me that the greatest insult is, who is this clown?
Oh, damn, it does hit.
Yeah, you want to know why it hits? It hits because 1, you're calling them a clown, but 2, you're saying they're not even a well-known clown. They're not even famous in the clown world. Who is this clown?
I think my favorite thing that I noticed from the internet is when they say "Rip Bozo." Like that one is just like
there's no coming back from Rip Bozo.
Yeah, it's like rest in piss, Bozo.
Rest in piss, Bozo. All right, well, folks. Thank you guys very much for watching and listening to this episode of the Wrestling Is Cool podcast. An extra thank you goes down to Lower the Ticket Prices, TKO, Tosi, Ayo, Salguero. Acknowledge the pressure.
Let us know in the comments what night of WrestleMania you would like to go in the Patreon and on YouTube.
Aiko 4559, Abreem Zuda, Alex Regal, Alex Alfie the Chosen One, Amalek, American Nightmare, Cody Lander, Anthony Blaze, Antony, Erics, Ariel Pacheco, Arrogance, Arturo Gonzalez, Ashley, Ozzy Kingslayer, Alwyn Dargan, Avada Wepa, Badass Construction Worker, Baldy, Ben Phillip, B Hostile, Blaine, Blenda, Blue Cord, Bluefish, Brad Davis, Braden Primo, Brody Cyphers, Brian Gallardo, Bubba the Big Fella, Bubbles J, Bunny Swag, Byron Williams, Cameron Warren, Cameron Talks WWE, Carlito, CB, Chad, Chainster Hausen, Chandler Swinford, Chew Poppy, Chris Butner Lucas, Chris Kyle, Christian Anderson, Christopher Patterson, Chucky Gonzalez, Colby Mayo, Cool Whip Tim, Krusty Dingleberries, Cucumber in the Bum, Cuz This Is Wepa Night, Damian Martinez, Dan Schubert, Dart Squiggles, Death Taxes and Weekly LA Night Botches, Dejan Salgado, Derek Barnhart, Dirty Dom for Undisputed Champion 2026, DJ Bates, D. Lopez, Dominic DeCoco, Drake Hughley, Dylan, Eagle Steve, Egg Toast, El Juan de Americano, El Joshi, Eric Ruiz, Romero, Ethan Richardson, Evan, Isads, Didi, Megadoodoo, A. Santi wants Vince back in the WWE. No, wait, no, I did not. Fletcher Walpole, FMFCMA, Foster JK, Freddie Trejo, Freelance Hot Takes, Frenzy Wrestling, Freezer, Fugnux, Gaming Nerd, 315, Gilbert Deans, Glass Eater, Godspeed, Goonhausen, Goose, Lesnar, GXA Man, Habibi Sap supports Iraq, Heath Robertson, Hey Shakes, Holy Yeet, Just Weapon My Pants, Ian Kelt, Ilya Dragunut, Il Magic, Issa says Podcast 17 asking something to pay for my WrestleMania tickets, Isa, shut up.
$200.
But then the next
the most viewed obscure.
Then the next person says, Isa, shut up. Get your bread up. It's Astro Kid, Jack Gibley, Jack Harris, Jacob Mueller, Jacob Saffel, James Armin. Maybe I'll get that guy WrestleMania tickets if we're telling him to get his bread up. Jacob Mueller, Jacob Saffel, James Armin, James Smith, Jason Flint, Jason Vane, Javier Rodriguez, Jax Teller, Javion McDuffie, JC Worley, Jeremiah Ashton, Jeremiah Finley, Jeremiah Kelly, Jahihia, Joe Benitez, Joe Exotic, Joe Laterra, Joe Velez, Joey Romig, Jonathan Cox, Johnny Owens, Jordy Marte, Jose Olivares, Josue Navarro, Juan Lamelli, Juan Vega, Julian Dean, Julian Asarfi, Julian Wainwright, Jr., Justin Brooks, Justin Perkins, Justin Russell, Caleb Martin, keep Sancho's name out your effing mouth, Kevin Vega, Kevin Clark, Kilo, Cody Barker, Christopher Gutierrez, L.A. Dyke, Lawrence Richard. Let me spell it out for you. It's LMAO. I don't need to know how it's spelled. It's how it's said. It said Lamau. Anyways. Lemon Peppa TKO Steppas, Lemon Wepa Precious Steppas, Liam Lil Shifu, Logan Ward, Look It's Pac-Man, Wepa, Luis Jimenez, Luisito El Calvo, Majed, Mal says, more celebrities, more pressure, Mark, Marnie YCSM, Mason, Matthew Dean, Matthew Oberg, Mossy, Makai, Micah Davis, Michael Mornane, Miguel Paredes, Minoru Suzuki is goaded, Muhammad Albanai, Nate Finley, Nathan Tully, Nick, Nikolaus Protopapis, Nicholas Kyle, Nicholas M. Daskovich, Nihilus, Nico Vance Refrigeration, NyQuil Pad, Noradin, Oba One Fanobi, Obi Nobi, Odin Sword, Old Man Rican, Oliver Hammonds, Omar Ghazawi, Oscar M's, Ovi1 Kenobi, Pat R, Pat McMark, Philip Dumas, Frody, Prince Vegeta, Puppet Spanker Johnson, Randomly Chosen, Rangadog, Rainier Neko, Reaper God, Red Hot Wepa Peppas, Ricky Dutcher, Rose City Savage, Roy Alexander, Ryan Hellberg, Ryan Munez, Ryan Spradley, Riley, Sadie Bink, Salty Dad, Sancho called Oba a bitch. I was there. Sancho doesn't like donating to charities. That's also true. Sancho hates children's charities and Oba Femi. Wow, the people are really speaking facts today. Sancho thinks Oba P sitting down. He did say that. I can confirm it. I've got the text to confirm it. Santi saved my life in 2024. We go from all those to a really serious one. Sauce God, Saudi Rick Boogs, Savage Field, Shane, Sheldon Hickman, Shitstain Nakamura, Silent Sancho, You Are Cursed, Sip God, Circates, Skyler, Slayer, Smag, Spectro Santana, Stay True, Sugar Shane, Super Malachi Galaxy, take a shot every time Sancho says good old. The original Second City Saint, the Patriots own the Chargers, Vanilla Joe Rilla, the LA Knight Mega Glazer, Jacob Kufis, the final boss, Bloodline Rules, TKO versus WWE, TKO can suck it. Tom Lehman, Tom Shucksmith, Tom Dodd, Trevor Harder, Trevor Shiflett, Trick has one hell of a right hand, sorry Mello, Tubhausen, Turner Dahl, Tycho, Tyler Bouchard, Tyler Logan, Tyler McGarry, Undead, Unknown Zero, Utah Beach, Vegan Penguin, Venom D, Tyler, Verzo, Voity, Juan Pablo III, Wayne Heiser, Wayne 082, White Mexican, Wody, William Newton, Zach Smira, Yo Girl Side, Zach Griffin, Zach Butcher, A2K, Zeke Loves, Zerxito, BBNJ, and Gracias. Thank you guys all for being $15 patrons and supporting the Wrestling is Cool podcast as much as you have. Thank you guys very much. You guys take care. Be wonderful people. And we'll see you in the next episode. Goodbye.